Say you'll never let me go.
Okay, hi everyone. So in today's tutorial, it's just going to be a really simple brow look. So I'm going to teach you how I do my brows on a daily basis and also tell you what products I like to use. So if you want to know how to get these brows, then stay tuned and keep watching. Bye. Okay, so first off, I'm going in with my brow powder on my Morphe M158, and the brow powder I'm using is the NYC brow powder, and I believe dark brown. And I don't use the wax side of it at all, I just use the powder side. So with this powder, I'm just going to start real quick at the sparse part of my brows and fill that in a little bit. And then I'm going to move on to the top of my brow and fill in that area by starting off with like a feathered line, just filling it in, and then moving on to the bottom of my brow and doing the same thing. And once I've filled in the outer tail half of my brow, I begin to take the brow powder and move further inward on my brow so it is darkest at the tails and lightest at the front of the brow. And this helps keep the brows looking more natural, since naturally you have less hair usually around the front of your brows. It's usually less dense, and I just want to make sure that that powder looks like that the powder makes my brows still look natural. And then I just blend this powder out to make sure all the lines I used blend together. And now I move on to the next brow, and I repeat the process where I'm filling in the sparsest part of my brows, and then I am moving on to the top of my brow and then back down to the bottom of my brow. And I like to use this brow powder first because it gives a more natural look, and it also helps me just get the basic shape I want down. And if I'm going for a more natural look, I just stop at the brow powder and put a little coat of brow gel on to hold them in place. But in this tutorial, I'm just going to show you the full routine. So as you can see, I keep going and I fill in my brows by moving forward to the front more. And to really help get those hair strokes at the front, I turn my brush on the side and I draw little vertical hairs, and then I turn a little more to get some more diagonal hairs just to help blend everything in together. And doing this really helps build that natural front to your brow while also filling in any sparse areas that you might have. And after I'm done filling in my brow with the powder, I just blend it out to make sure all the lines are blended and that there's no awkwardly sparse areas or any gaps in the lines that I drew. So just want to make sure that you have completely blended out the powder. And now I'm moving on to my NYX brow gel. It's waterproof and it's the color Espresso. And I'm just using the same brush, and I'm using this part to really sharpen up my brow. So once again, I'm starting at the top and I'm just making a smooth lines that connect to help really sharpen up my brow and sharpen up the tail. And then I repeat the same process on the bottom, but when I'm drawing a line, I flick it upwards slightly so they feather in together, and so the brow's more blended. And for this product, I'm not going to blend it all the way into the front because I don't want it to be too harsh. So I'm going to stop when I get it close to like a fourth of the way to the inside of my brow. And I just stop and I make sure I blend this product out because it sets really quickly. And I'm just making sure I've filled in all the sparse areas and that the products are blending together where it's lighter at the front but not too light at the front, and it's dark at the end. And now I'm taking a smaller brush, and this is actually a BH Cosmetics angled liner brush. And I'm using this brush to really define the tail of my brow and to also help draw in a few more detailed hair strokes. And then I'm moving on to my other brow and just repeating those two steps. And for this brow, I'm trying to really make sure my brows are even because this brow is slightly thinner than my other brow, and I want to make sure that they're even, they're about the same height, or at least that they're as even as I'm going to be able to get them. And by doing this step last, it helps me just keep all my brows together. Because if I was to do this brow first, it would actually make it a lot harder to even out my brows in the end. So, and I'm just sharpening up that line, and I'm filling up that sparse area up there. Just making sure that my brows are even and sharp and defined. And as you can see with this brush, I don't work on the tail too much. I just wait to do my tail with that smaller brush. This is, I'm just making sure it's fully blended in and that there's no gaps. And I also like this product because if you have any areas on your brows that don't really take product, this will help that, because I have a few areas on my brows that don't take product well, and this is one of the very few products that I'm able to actually fill those areas in with, just because of the way it's made. And once again, I'm going in with that smaller liner brush and really defining that tail. And I'm sorry that I'm at the very bottom of the frame. It was hard for me to see my brow and still stay in the range of the camera frame. Now, once again, blending that out, making sure that everything has a very seamless transition, and going back in with that small brush and making sure that I'm getting in those really detailed little hair strokes to help blend it out. And just repeating the process on the other brow, make sure that it's well blended and everything looks natural but still defined. And now I'm going in with a brow gel, and this is the Rimmel London Brow This Way in Brunette, and I'm just using this to help set the powders in place and set that brow gel. Just make sure that it's definitely waterproof and it's not gonna go anywhere. Yep, just set them, and it also helps lighten up my brows. Okay, so I hope that tutorial helped you guys, and if you have any other tutorial requests, leave them in the description box down below. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.